Alright, so I just got the C-notch kit in, which is right behind me, right back there on the bench. So we're going to open it up right now and see what it looks like. See, it actually showed up in a little bubble wrap package from the United States Postal Service. But the metal so far looks pretty thick, so we're going to open it up right now. Another little drink koozie. Queen City Fab. Off of eBay. It's a 6-inch C-notch kit. A lot of pieces of metal that all pretty thick. And the important pieces right here. That is a C-notch. Hopefully that should work out really nice. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are working on the S10 frame. We will be installing the C-notches. What that's going to do is it's going to allow the rear axle to go up higher without hitting the frame, so when we air the truck out, it will actually sit on the ground. So there's plenty of welding to do, measuring, welding, all that fun stuff, so let's get to it. This is actually going to go right about here on the frame. Probably end up welding it in there just like that, and that will give us all the room we need for lowering the truck all the way down. Those little pieces right there for actually boxing all of these in place, so it'll be nice and solid and welded in place when it's done. So right here we have 4 of the actual C-shaped pieces of metal. That's what's actually called the C-notch. I've got these kind of held together right now with a couple 90-degree magnets, just to get a rough idea of this is how thick the notch will actually be on the frame, completely boxed in. There's 2 more right there. And these are all the little filler pieces that will eventually fill in the ends here of the notch. They'll go in there like that to fill that in. So right now we're going to work on just flapping down the edges and cleaning up all the metal so everything's nice and clean. So when we MIG that together onto the frame, I'm going to clean up the frame right here too, make sure that's all nice and clean. Everything's going to be ready to go so we can tack everything together. Find the angle that the frame is currently sitting at and match up the top of the C-notch. Trying to protect the floor, because this floor, the polyurethane flooring, that's stronger than epoxy, the polyasperic, welds and it burns through the floor, so it leaves burn marks everywhere. So I'm trying to protect the floor, keep that from happening the best I can, so eventually this floor will look nice again once I get it all buffed. So right now I'm going to tack this into place. That way I know how wide I need to sleeve this frame so this fits right over top of it. Then the rest of the thing will get tacked on. Right now the C-notch is tacked in place. I'm going to cut the bottoms of these off so I can get a good weld in on these. Up the side with a metal clamp. Back side, weld that in place. Then the center part can get cut out. Then the C-notch will actually be perfectly ready to go. It's cut off right here. Straight, level with the frame here. Just level this off, weld along the bottom, weld along the sides. punch the center spot. I'm going to weld this nut over top of the hole so we can actually come in from beneath with a bump stop and screw the bump stop in. Boxed in. I got to cut the center out now. Then we can weld in the two bottom pieces, and it's completely done. Now we've got to clean up the metal to weld the C-notch on this side. All the welding on the C-notches has been completed. At this time, as far as we can go, we've actually got to cut the old frame out from in between the C-notches, weld in the plates inside those, then it will be completely done other than finishing up some little flapper wheel grinding or whatever. Cutting out the center section of the original frame, which will give us, the frame will then be this, the notch we just put in, and in the back, and then we weld in two plates on the inside to finish off boxing in the entire notch. Bottom part's all cut out. It's got to go up, and then we're completely cut out. So we have the notch cut out on the driver's side, as you can see right here. It's looking really good. And then right inside the frame here, we're actually going to put two more boxing plates, which should be right here. So it's going to go in there something like this. And then those are going to get welded, completely welded into place, which will completely box off this whole C-notch kit. Coming out pretty good. Driver's side is now boxed in, completely done. Now we work on the passenger side. So right now both C notches are completely cut in. This one is completely boxed back in. We just cut the passenger side C notch out, so we're going to work on boxing that back in and we will be complete with the C notches. Then we can mount the rear end back in place and make sure everything articulates correctly and there's no binding and it lays frame. The rear end all cleaned up. I'm going to bolt the 4-link back onto the rear end to do a test fit, and then we can actually test the articulation of the rear end into the new C notches. Alright everyone, that's going to be a wrap for this video. We got the C notches completely installed, boxed in, everything's ready to go for that. We test fit the rear end into place. I had to notch the lower control arms just a little bit so they fit up nicely into the C notches. So next video we're going to actually work on boxing in the frames where the 4-links connect to the frame itself. That way it's nice and sturdy. We don't have any questions about whether that frame's going to flex or not. So stay tuned for the next video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification icon down below so you get future video updates. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.